Today we are tackling a topic that can bring up some emotion, how we can make peace both with ourselves and with our loved ones before we or they pass on. And today I'm here with Michele Tamaren, who is a spiritual director and lecturer. She has written a very moving book called Extraordinary, an End-of-Life Story Without End. And Michele, you've had so much experience with this topic, both with your clients and your family, and I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today.
Well, I'm delighted to have you with me.
No one wants to die with regrets. Are there any common longings that happen at the end of a life?
Absolutely there are. As a matter of fact, these three longings, spiritual longings, have been identified by researchers. At the end of life, we long to know that our lives had meaning, that they made a difference. We want to know, too, that we were valued, that we were cherished. And we also want to know that we can rest in healthy relationships.
So why do you think it's so important for people to feel like their life had meaning?
We all want to know that our lives, regardless of how long we have lived, our lives have touched others, that we have made the world a better place, perhaps a better place for our children, our loved ones, our friends, maybe through our careers, and maybe in the community. We need to know that just because we lived and breathed, we're leaving the world in better shape than before we came.
That you matter.
Yes.
What does it mean to feel that you're valued?
To feel valued means to feel cherished, to feel important, to be seen, to have our being acknowledged. Sadly, there are so many people who die alone. So sometimes it's actually the caregivers in the hospitals, through hospice and the nursing homes, who provide that sense of value. But most often, thankfully, it's loved ones, it's family, it's friends.
So that valuing could come from many sources.
Many sources, yes.
And you mentioned a life review in a couple interviews. Can you kind of briefly explain what that means?
Yes. Well, for each of my parents, I sat with them and we began talking about their early childhood and then moved through adolescence, young adulthood, all the way through to the very end of their life. And that brings a sense of wholeness, of completion, and allows one to rest in knowing that, yes, my life unfolded in some ways that were smooth and easy and delightful, and other ways that were challenging. And then there's the question, well, what did you learn through the challenge, and how did you grow? And perhaps how did you teach others?
Wow, that sounds like a powerful process, especially at the end of your life, and then you get to be the keeper of the memories.
That's so very true. And then to share them, to have the pleasure of sharing them.
Right. Well, thank you so much for your wisdom and just presence about going through a really challenging process with people you love.
You're most welcome.
Michele coaches clients and offers presentations on end of life and self-care. If you'd like to visit her website, it is micheletamaren.com, and you can also find more information about her book, Extraordinary, there. And our next interview, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to be talking about intergenerational friendships and how they could be meaning and beneficial. We'll see you then.